no pain. When the dark is closing in, see they want to lock me down. When they try to take me down, we be flying off the ground. When the world is going out, when the earth is falling in. This is the mind, this is the
Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to WDRBmedia, the voice of the community, the only station giving you doubly inspiration and information. You're listening to the KWEENDOM radio show. I'm your host, LaNinia, the queen with the crooked crown, and this segment of the show is being brought to you by Precious Gifts Incorporated, a 501c3 nonprofit organization equipping women and girls for self-sufficiency and wellness to overcome life's obstacles. Please check them out at www.preciousgifts.com for more information and how you can be a part of their mission. Well, today is Friday the 24th. Yay, I am another year older. My birthday was on Tuesday the 21st. So I'm just blessed to be in this place today. And our topic today, I think, is going to be a fun one. We're going to talk about online dating. And this is something that either people are like, ooh, no, that is not for me. I'm too afraid. You don't know who's on the other side of that computer or, on the other side of that app. Or some people are for it, like they've met their person. They've gotten married. So yeah, we're going to dig into this topic today. And I will start off with saying a few statistics that online dating is more common among younger adults. So those of us, what are we, Gen Z, Gen X, whatever, the ones who were born in the 70s and 80s, we're less likely to engage in online dating, supposedly. But the younger adults, about half of those under 30, reporting about 53%, have ever used a dating site or app, compared with 37% of 30 to 49-year-olds, and then 20% of those 50 to 64, and then 13% of those 65 and older. So it's like you might be saying, so if you are in those older age brackets, is online dating something that you would decide to engage in? Is that something that appeals to you? Do you know the red flags, the risks, the warning signs of dating? As a little bit older adult, like 30 and up, do you not do it or do it because of those things that you've heard or things that you've experienced? So pretty much we are going to be talking about some of the red flags that you need to look for when dating. We want you to be safe when online dating. Then I may have just a few little stories to tell you as well. And I won't tell you if they're my stories or a friend. You know how people say, my friend, somebody I know. It may be one of those stories. So when we come back, we're going to dig into this online dating in the 2023 era. So you are listening to the KWEENDOM radio show. I'm your host, LaNinia, the queen with the crooked crown. You're tuned in to WDRBmedia, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. We'll be right back after the break.
Sometimes we say things that we really don't mean. We do things in between the lines. We should do more to stand out. I'm sorry if I made you feel less than who you are, a little insecure. Oh, you're a shining star. I wanna spend my nights with you, my life with you. Oh, baby, babe, please wait up for me till whenever I get home. hold me and squeeze me. And oh, you're gonna love me. You're gonna wanna hold me and squeeze me.
Welcome back to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, and those streaming live through free TuneIn radio app and iHeartRadio. You're listening to the Queendom Come Radio Show. I'm your host, LaNinia, the Queen with the Crooked Crown. And if you're just tuning in, we're discussing online dating, people. So I gave you a few statistics before the break. And here's just a few more numbers that really I wasn't even aware of, taking from cloudwords.net. And there are over 366 million people right now. And well, actually, this is a statistic from 2022 that are using dating apps. And there are over 8,000 competitive online dating sites and platforms worldwide. 1 in 5 internet users is on an online dating app. Are you one of those people? I know that with Facebook, they have that Facebook dating and it's free. So there's probably a lot of users on that particular dating app because it's just easy, right? If you have a Facebook page, you can just open up your dating app. So, and there's, of course, there's those that are more popularly known, such as Match and Tinder and, various ones for different ethnicities, Black people meet. And what the word is I gave you the statistics on the age groups that are using these websites. And with the older daters, they're not too inclined to go to the Tinders or the Hinges. And I have no idea even what Hinge is. That was a new one that for me that I just heard of. But the people like over 55, 60, they that do use dating apps, they prefer like eHarmony or religious dating sites. And I will tell you, and I don't mean any harm to anybody who uses it, honestly. But when I first heard of the app called Christian Mingle, it made me chuckle. I'm sorry. Because from what I hear is on that particular site, it's a whole lot of foolishness going on the Christian Mingle site, like a whole lot of just unchristian like things. So picture that. But yeah, so the older folks are on those types of sites, while the younger people are on Match and in the others that I mentioned previously. So when it comes to race, how many people of certain races are on these apps? 29% of white people, 28% of Hispanic people, and 31% of Black people are using dating apps. So we're kind of equal in our dating app use. So that's not really surprising. I think it's because everyone wants to find someone, their person, right? And so about 42% of online dating users are aiming for marriage. That is their end goal. So they're on these sites looking for that one, that special one. But what I do have to say is you have to be careful, because I know you may have heard of catfish, where people are not who they say they are. They're using other people's profiles and things of that nature. And I will give you just a little brief story. In a previous life and all, I used to model, and I had a website for my modeling, for booking and all of that, right? So one of my friends called me and said I was on a dating site, said they saw me on a dating site. All my modeling pictures were on this dating site. And I'm like, I'm not on a dating site. And if I was, I wouldn't put all of my modeling pictures. I would just put normal, regular shots on my dating site. So, people steal your pictures and pretend they're somebody else and all of that. So those are the things that you have to be mindful of if you decide to date online. And, for most people, they say dating online is a lot easier. You can do it while you're sitting at home in your bonnet and your slippers on, and you can meet somebody, right? You don't have to get all dolled up and go out until you're actually comfortable enough to meet these people. And I will be transparent. I have utilized dating sites, probably as far back as when they first came out, maybe. And it was probably more or less like MySpace, where you meet people, or Black People Meet, or no. What was it? Black Planet, things of that nature. So I've met people on these sites, and it wasn't always for dating, like just online relationships you can actually gain from, meeting people online, business relationships and things of that nature. So I digress. Going back to the dating, however, you want to be aware of these types of red flags because you want to be safe. A lot of things can happen when you get into an online relationship. And it behooves me that people can be in a relationship, and I put air quotes around that, with a person that they've never seen for years, and they're so in love, and they've never, ever seen the person, and even the ones that have never even spoken to the person, like on the phone, and they'll be in a relationship for 5 years and things of that nature. Okay. Anywho. So let me just mention a few things that you should be aware of before you get too attached and into a long-term relationship with someone you met online. If they ask you for money, honey, run. Okay. If someone you met online asks you for money, that is an obvious red flag that you cannot ignore. It's one of the most obvious signs. And I don't mean to give my brothers and sisters from Nigeria a bad rap, but they have been known for being scammers and, scamming women, people out of their coins. So be very mindful of that. And I know there was one time years ago when I was online dating, and a man I knew he was in Africa, but he had all these pictures. And let me tell you, he was a very nice looking man on his pictures. Okay. And so I'm wise to all of this stuff. So I'm like, video chat with me. Right. And he calls on video, but the screen is black. He says his phone is broken. And then at that moment, he also asked me to send him some Amazon gift cards so that he can buy himself a new phone so that we can talk. Okay. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night, and my name is not Boo Boo the Foo. So no, sir, you are blocked. Okay. Because you are full of it. Okay. We all know what it is. Okay. If they warn you about themselves, then you should believe them. If they tell you they're trouble, if they tell you that you're not going to find something good in them, they don't like themselves for some reason, I would say you need to move on because they're letting you know that they are a burning building and you're about to walk into the fire. Okay. Some people like to joke and call themselves psycho and I'm crazy. And if they do that, you might want to believe them. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't risk meeting that person. If they say, I love you, and you've talked to them for about one day for about 30 minutes and 22 seconds, and they love you, they're crazy, and you need to get them out of the way fast. No one loves you within a few days. They may love some things about you. They may like what they've been hearing with your personality or whatever, but they don't love you. And that is a sign of someone that is not wrapped too tight. So run. If they won't send you pictures, run. If they give you vague answers on their profile, run. And if they talk about their ex a whole lot, they're still obsessed with their ex. So that's definitely a red flag. So those are just a few of the things that you should be watching out for if you decide to online date. you have to know what you're getting into. So when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about online dating and maybe, some good things that come out of this for some people who have chosen to go this route. You're tuned into WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. Don't go anywhere because we'll be right back.
And mind, I found it in deep. Coming through is all I ever want to do. I fall in the steps of human beings, and it's all on you. Now it's up to 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 you. Now it's on. Trying to avoid things, but it's no one this is mothers. Avoid things. I try to resolve things, involve you, but you don't want to be sorry. Page me on a beeper, babe. I need a request, say I need a reason. No wait while you're relaxing. Say me your way today. I'm on a way today. I want my waist and I craze and my mind's away. And it's a migraine to play your mind games. You're like a cold place. Don't need a cold place. And if you ain't mine, then we just waste time until a new day. I try to avoid things, but it's no one this is mothers. Avoid things. I try to resolve things, involve you, but you don't want to be sorry. Bad man wanna do me, bad man wanna cry, bad man wanna play, mind games on me, bad man wanna craze, save me from this, save me from. Bad man wanna do me, bad man wanna cry, bad man wanna play, mind games on me, bad man wanna craze, save me from this, save me from. I'm trying to avoid things, but there's no one this is more this. Avoid things. I try to resolve things, involve you, but you don't want to be sorry. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah.
Welcome back to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, and those streaming live through free TuneIn radio app. You're listening to Thy Queendom Come radio show, and I'm your host, LaNinia, the queen with the crooked crown. If you're just tuning in, we've been discussing online dating, and we just went through some of the red flags that you need to watch out for. And, some of you may be wondering, okay, all of that stuff is too much for me to have to worry about. Getting online and it be, somebody, Bubba, Gump, Shrimp, whatever, sitting behind that computer, having a picture of someone who looks like Morris Chestnut or Shamar Moore or something on their profile. However, like I said, there are certain safety precautions that you set up when you are engaging in online dating and meeting somebody. You always want to make sure that you do a video with them, a live video, not something that they pre-recorded, but a live video. See if, definitely you want to speak to them on the phone and see how they are. Because I've heard stories of, men being women and women being men and, portraying that they're, of a different sex or what have you. So you always want to do a video with a person and make sure that is matching up to their online profile. I know that there was a story of a friend of mine who basically was talking to this guy and for, a good amount of time, a few weeks or what have you, on the phone. And she never asked him to video for some reason. And they decided to meet up at a public place at a restaurant. And when they met up, she said that, yes, it was him in those photos on his profile, but it had to have been him when he was 19, 20 years old, because this man was not that same person. He was about 2 to 3 more people in size. And, I'm just going to say she said he wasn't who he portrayed. So you want to make sure that their photos are recent and that they, once again, are being honest. And that is what you would want from a person. So you would need to be that as well when creating an online profile, is honesty and knowing what it is that you're actually looking for. Are you looking for that person, that forever, or are you looking to just meet people, have fun, and just date? And it's all of that is available on online dating. You just need to know what you're looking for and set your expectations for, actually connecting with somebody. And as I said earlier, there are so many different platforms. Just to name a few: Bumble, Hinge, Plenty of Fish, Grindr, Badoo, OkCupid, Match, Zooks, and half of those I have never heard of. Black People Meet. And an interesting study that I just recently came upon was the fact that the South has the highest number of people engaged in online dating. It has the highest percentages of all of these platforms. All of these dating platforms they separated the regions into South, Northeast, Midwest, and the West Coast. And yeah, the South, down here, I don't know if we just don't get out as much, we bored, I don't know what it is, but the South is booming for online dating. So I'm thinking it must work in some sense. And I will tell you that I met my person and on a dating site 16 years ago. And, we've always kept in touch. And, and when we always go back to thinking like we met on, and I can't even remember the site that we met. I think it was Black People Meet. And he just did it as his friend told him to do it. So you never know what you're going to get. You never know what's going to come out of it. But I would just say, know your expectations, think positive, and, go for it if you haven't tried it, and see how it is, but just be careful. So that's it for me today. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Continue to tune in every Friday at 9:30 a.m. Remember, you can connect with me by going to info@preciousgifts.com or 800-988-3044. You've been listening to Thy Queendom Come radio show, and I'm your host, LaNinia, on WDRBmedia, the voice of the community, for double the information and inspiration. Until next week, continue to be a blessing. Remember, you are the gift. Ashe.
I searched to find the love within. I came back to let you know, got a thing for you, and I can't let go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in the days from your love, you see. I came back to let you know, got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Some people go around the world for love, and they may never find what they dream of. What you won't do to do for love, you tried everything, but you don't give up. In my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in the days from your love, you see. I came back to let you know, got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Although I only want the best, it's true. I can't believe the things I do for you. What you won't do for love. You've tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, only you made me do for love what I would not do. Made me do for love what I would not do. Make me do for love what I would not do. Make me do for love.